Well, hello! I'm so glad you're joining me today at the Creative Zone. My name is Judith Reedy, and today we're continuing our new masterclass series on how you read and plan with values, which is going to help simplify painting for you so much. And you're going to see in this process how this works. And today we're specializing in high key value, and I'll talk to you about what that means and how we can adjust our value. But first, let me come back, and here we go. So I'm so glad that you're here today at the Creative Zone. You may be watching me on YouTube, or you may be seeing me on Facebook by the title, page, or channel, Judith Reedy Creative Zone, or you might be seeing me on Facebook under Judith Reedy Visual Artist. In either case, please like or follow the page if you're on Facebook, and subscribe if you are on YouTube, because if you do, you won't miss any of these new developments each week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, when I actually am sending these videos out to you and these presentations. And you can even join me live, or you can watch it at your leisure. But please leave comments, questions, whatever, in whatever place is provided for you, and I'll get back to you. I can't generally do it during the event, during the live presentation, but I do come back and talk with you. So let's talk about what we're doing. We're working with value, and I have been teaching courses on color, and I believe color is very important, but I think we overestimate it sometimes, and we don't realize the value of value and how you can so simplify your work process as an artist by really digging in and learning about using value. And so that's what we've been spending time doing. And this is, I believe, the 6th demo on the topic. So let me tell you a little bit about my process and how I teach, and how I encourage you to think about painting in a very methodical way. First of all, I have 4 basic steps. The first is the idea. You know, it might be a photograph that you have that you're drawn to. It might be a scene right in front of you, either outside or in your home or somewhere else, a bowl of fruit, a bouquet of flowers. It might be an old shoe, or an old car, or whatever it is. That is where your idea is. And so you have to start thinking, well, how can I structure my idea, design my idea, so that visually, so that my viewer really gets pulled in, stays there, and understands, or at least is intrigued into this world that you've created on that canvas or paper or whatever. And that's where step 2 is in hand. That's where we design with shapes and values. And I cannot tell you how absolutely important it is to simplify your shapes and simplify your values. And when you do that, it makes the next step, value to color, where we mix our colors to match those values, like almost so easy. And then when you actually paint your painting, everything is all worked out, pretty much 90%, and you end up with a just delightful painting and a great experience, and you're not struggling, I got to change this, I got to change this, because you've really solved a lot of those problems when you simplified your shapes and read and clarified your values. And so that's why we're working at this time in the master class on value. So I'm going to share with you today a little bit about what that means and how we're going to work with that. So let's do that here. I have in front of me a drawing, an outline of a drawing, and I want to do a high key painting. So that means it's going to be on the light end of the color wheel. And I really want you to see the original image I was working with, and this was the sample image that I'm going to be working with in the corner. You can see them very well. And so I'm using that as my guide. Now, I did talk to you about the notinizer. You can, obviously, the original image and the drawing, or the notinizer image that I created, are vastly different. But what I did do is I basically wanted to see how I can adjust the value consciously and create an entirely different effect. And when I first went over this visual image, I did some adjustment and changes. And there is no reason why you as an artist can't do this. But I'm having a little problem. I think, oh, my phone went off. That is so annoying. Anyway, I'm going in and putting in the big shapes right now in this light value. And I start kind of fairly light because that's what I want to do. And this is called a high key, where almost all the values in the painting are in the light regions, except for some strategic dark areas that kind of you use to take your eye through that. Now, the other thing we'll be doing when we finally paint this scene is we're going to be talking more about color. And when we pick high key, we mix those high key values in the various colors, and some of them may be more saturated, whatever that is going to be another element we're going to be talking about. But today I want to talk to you about what a high key painting is. You basically stay within the first three values, light values, and then you have those dark areas. But it's not a low key and it's not a what I would call a full key or a medium key where you've got all the values. Today we're going to be working in, so let's say you're imagining a hot summer day where it's high noon and you have some shadows underneath those trees, but everything's kind of washed out. So how do you make it intriguing and really have it so that the person is really interested in what, to make it compelling? And that makes it a little tricky, I think. And so I'm definitely going to have to step away for a minute, and I'll be right back. But you can see what I'm doing here, and I will here. Well, I don't know what it is. So anyway, as you can see, I'm putting in and going over some of those values a little bit more, but they're in the major areas and they're simplified. Now the smaller ones are going to be carrying your eye through this, but I'm really keeping all the values in the first three 10, 9, and 8 of the Munsell scale. And so that's where I'm going to be mixing my colors. And the reason I'm doing this, because I'm trying to show you that you can adjust your values to communicate more effectively, but you don't have to. So let's compare those two now. You can see the difference between my first medium key, and then you can see the difference between the. So how are we going to make this something you're going to really be drawn into? And this is where the color mixing is going to be really important, and the vibration I create with the colors, which I'll talk to you about when we do that part of the process. So the one on the left is the high key, and the one on the right is the medium key or full key, because I go from light to dark. And so that's one of the things that, now you can see that is a foundation where all the light and the value scale and a few spotted darks and middle values as accents, but not very much. And then the other is the middle key. The foundation values are grouped in the middle of the value scale, balanced by some spots of dark and light. And I tend to think that in this case it's a full value. And we will be making in our next demo a low key painting in which most of the values are the dark end of the value scale, with a smattering in the middle and the lighter values as highlights. And often the tonalist painters were known, like George Innes was known for that type of painting. I actually like them. They're like night paintings. Nocturnes are often that way, and I love the feeling, the mood that you can create with that. But it's, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you need to understand how that is done. And I think you'll find that to be very, very helpful to you in all the ways that I've mentioned. So I want you to try this with a picture, photograph you have, or an image you have. Try doing it as mid-value and then doing it as high key. And then when we do it, you'll find this to be really helpful. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to go back and we're going to talk about how, you know, this is really in my steps. This is what we were designing with shapes and with value. And what I would be doing if I was going right on is next I would have these colors out on my scale, and I would mix them to create vibration. And I'm going to show you that, but not in the next demo, but in the next ones after that. We're going to do all three of these paintings, mix the colors for all three, and do them all, and we're going to compare them. And this exercise that we're going through really helps you to understand how to manipulate the values to create different kinds of effects, and which in effect is what idea you have in mind. If you want to make a nocturne, if you want to make a bright sunlight day, if you want a sunset, there are different value keys that you need to know how to work with. So let's get back. Let's go. We do that in my first courses are primarily color mixing, but in this coming course the course that I have in intermediate color principles, I basically am now showing you how to use value and color to create illusion and shape, and work with that, make that shape move back, make it move forward, make the objects really seem, give them their reality. You know, they're not all flat and cartoonish. They're actually believable with color and value, not just overlap, not just tinier, because there's several ways really to show depth. So we will be talking about that in this Intermediate Color Principles course, which I think you will find to be extremely helpful as you advance in your painting. It's really going to help you to make stunning paintings and with shape and illusion of space. You're going to know how to understand and manipulate foreground, middle ground, and background color in a landscape so that you really create depth. And then you'll also be able to create believable shapes and forms if you really understand value. And so that's the biggest job we do in this course, and it's designed for a beginner. And so you will be able to discover so much about space and how to make things recede and how to make forms, and you're going to be learning about color vibration, because that's what we're going to really be doing with the high key painting here. And then you're going to apply all the color theory that you're going to be learning. And so I know that it's based on the foundation that we had in color foundation, but you will be able to pick up even without color foundation. And in intermediate color principles, there is so much stuff. I mean, you're going to be reviewing topics like temperature, value, saturation, complements, and neutrals, and you're going to be also learning about middle ground, background, and value, and vibration, and shallow, and deep space. There is so much, and you're going to be practicing it and doing so many. You're going to be watching videos, and you'll have slide presentations, and you also have all kinds of projects where you're going to be practicing that, and then you have an opportunity to share them and ask questions. So it's really a wonderful place. And if you want a one-on-one, I really suggest you look at the Inner Circle Masterclass. That is going to really be a game changer for you, because I'll just sit down and talk to you, and we can talk and have questions and answers and just discuss all the things. And with that, it's going to really be able to change your, and I know that those students who have taken that have really benefited. So remember to apply these principles that you learn in all your classes over and over again. Keep working on them, and you're going to continue growing. And that masterclass, Inner Circle Masterclass, that'll be the cat's meow for you. So we try to keep everything simple. I don't get too complex, because I really am interested in you getting a hold of these ideas and manipulating them yourself. And you're going to be real excited about the bonus lesson about color vibration. And finally, all my students have been so excited about this course and all the courses. They have learned so much about color. So I want you to know you can watch this on your desktop, your tablet, or your phone anytime. And I hope that you'll be ready to adjust value and color and make stunning paintings when you're done with this interactive course. You will get access to all the lessons in intermediate color principles, plus Unit 3 bonus activity, vibration, color vibration with a still life. I know that it's going to make a difference for you. So, and also for those of you who are in color foundations, remember we have added a new Unit 3 that's going to show you about how to change the hue but keep the value. So this is a great practice exercise. We have the blue iris, and then we're going to make yellow irises and red irises, all keeping the value relationships correct so that we get the form we need when we're painting. And I'll show you how that's done, and you'll have a great experience doing that. And know, for those of you who are just, oh, I don't know, I don't know how to mix a color, I have 7 essential simple tricks to mix color. It's going to be basically with just a warm and cool of each of the 3 primaries, that's 6 colors, plus black and white. You're going to learn how to mix brilliant secondaries. I will teach you also how to neutralize those colors, and why sometimes when you pick the wrong primary to mix with the other primary, you don't get that brilliant purple that you want, secondary color, or that brilliant green you want, or that brilliant orange. And also other ways that once you get a brilliant color, how you can neutralize it with tints, tones, shades, and complements. And plus all that, we're going to talk about what makes colors vibrate. And so I know that you're going to benefit. And like my other courses, they're all online. You can watch them at your leisure. And you know, you get all of that for only $7. So check on the links below. I have my explanation. You can go to the link and learn more about 7 essential simple tricks. You can also learn about intermediate color principles. And I know that it'll make a difference for you. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope that you found that making a high key painting and doing that adjustment is really going to make a difference. And I hope you look forward and come back and see when I mix the colors and make the painting for that. So we're going to be back again on Tuesday next week, and then we'll get on and we'll do Thursday next week, and it will be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining me today, and happy painting, and I will see you all next week. And don't forget, if you have any questions, to leave them in the comments, and subscribe or follow and like me. Take a great time painting